Do you want to support me while also getting some cool WWE swag? Well, now you can, because I am an affiliate of WWEshop.com. Just head to the link in the description of this video, click that little bad boy, and it will bring up WWE Shop. Purchase as normal, whether it's shirts, whether it's championship titles, whether it's memorabilia, anything you want on WWE Shop, as long as you use my link, because doing so will give me a commission off your purchase. Therefore, you can support me and rep the WWE's latest swag all throughout their shop. So just head to the link in the description of this video, purchase as normal, and you're also supporting me.
Hola. Hello, we're back. We're back. Bigger comeback than Kim Kardashian. And I don't know. How you been? Everything's been cruising. Actually, I was up your neck of the woods on
Jeez, we're going straight
Sunday.
into it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you were. You come down to my place of living.
Yes, it was very nice. Very nice area.
I mean, I guess for someone that is not here all the time, sure, it's fine. But I'm here all the time, so
it was.
I was like tour guide, Josh. Though I was like,
you were tour
where
guide.
This happens, not much happens. This is where this happens, not much happens. Basically,
crackheads over that side, not crackheads over this side. Basically,
pretty much
the tour. Here's a question that we were musing on the way to your place. Me and your bestie went on a little road trip up to see you. We thought to ourselves, you were always driving down here to see us, so why don't we return the favour and do it the other way around?
Feels good.
So here's the question that we mused to each other. What amount of time constitutes a road trip from a long drive?
Oh, see, I guess for me, that's probably a different answer maybe to you, because here to Adelaide to me is not a road trip. That's just a casual drive, because I've done it all my life. I've lived here all my life, so that's not.
Yeah.
I mean, a road trip to me is like when I've traveled to like Broken Hill. That's a road trip to me. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like 5.5 hours.
Okay.
That's a road trip. Here to Adelaide is like, if I can be somewhere and then be home in my own bed in the same day, that ain't a road trip to me.
Well, that's so going there and back in a day is not a road trip.
Really, you could have been at my house until 9 o'clock at night and still been home in your bed by 11, and that's not really that long in the grand scheme of things. Maybe to some people, but to me, that's just normal. Like, I'm going to the footy, like, when I go to the footy sometimes, the footy will finish at 10 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. and I'll be home in my bed by 11:30. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can be home in my own bed.
Yeah, okay. Because we mused that the difference between a long drive and a road trip is if you go over 100 Ks distance, not speed, if you go over 100 Ks without seeing a traffic light.
I don't know. I think
it's different.
I think from where I live to Adelaide, it's around about the 130, 40 mark, somewhere around there. That to me is not a road trip. But again, that's because I've done it so many times that, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's fair.
If I was to go to like here of like the south of Adelaide, that's a little bit more of a hike. But if I'm just traveling to like where you are or like where I normally go, which was usually the northern suburbs or even to the city, if I can do it I can do that trip in under 2 hours. So, you know.
No, I think, it's definitely skewed between us both. What was I going to say? I did have something else right in my head. Oh, yeah. I got a game for you.
Okay.
I got 2 games for you tonight.
2.
Let's play Which Celebrity Did Ray just see?
What constitutes as a celebrity?
Most people listening and watching will know this person. They're not just known from social media. They're a big deal. And I would say internationally known.
Oh, internationally known.
I'll give you
gosh.
5 questions and then a guess.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right, go for it.
No, you got to ask me the 5
Oh,
questions.
is it a woman?
No.
Are they younger than me?
No.
Okay, so they're older than me. Oh God. Do they have brown hair? This is really narrowing it down.
It's dark hair.
Okay.
I'm not going to specify color because I don't know it.
Do they? Okay, so internationally known. That makes I lean away from them being a sports star.
Not a sports star. I'll give you another. Well, it's not really a clue, but I only got within about 10 meters of them, and I was really excited.
Wait, you seen them
and
today?
I don't know. Yeah, like literally a couple of hours ago.
Someone in Adelaide. Oh
Mm-hmm.
gosh. Fucking hell! I have no idea.
I'll give you another couple of
hints. I have no idea.
They were very known for their hair, and they're a guy.
What the fuck are we talking about? I can't even take a stab in the dark because I really don't know who it is.
It was Guy Sebastian.
Oh, of course, right. I just seen him on that article for the Adelaide Crows. I should have known. Okay, Guy. Oh, Jesus.
Guy Sebastian. Angels
Internationally
brought me.
known. That's a broad statement.
He's got songs that went hits overseas.
Yeah, but I mean,
Tasmania love him.
So did the guy that sang Gangnam Style, and
yeah. Well, if I would have pissed myself a little bit if I seen Psy as well.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Good old Guy.
Yeah, Guy Sebastian. I was down at Crows Open Training for Gather Round this weekend. I interviewed young Max Michelani, which was a good chat. I stole one of our questions from our question time and asked him, I'm assuming the video will come out before this, so whatever, but
whatever.
No spoilers, but asked him who he'd choose as a fictional character to be by his side in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, who do you choose? Well, you're allowed to say. I guess it's spoilers. Watch the interview.
Interview.
I don't know the answer. Watch the interview.
There's better questions than this, but James Bond he chose.
Oh. No offense. I should have snowed.
I do have another story from said interview.
Oh, God.
Because I was interviewing Max. We were standing on the boundary line of Glenelg Oval and in front of all the adoring fans that were getting autographs from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And another player came in and stuck his head into the interview. Young Josh Rochelle, the Rash himself.
Mm-hmm. Fellow Josh.
And I asked him the same question. Which fictional character would you like beside you in a zombie apocalypse? And he looked me dead in the eye and said, I've never read that book.
What?
Sweet Josh.
He is very lucky that he is an athlete and he is good looking. Because
and then we explained it to him. Then Max was like, no, it's like a hypothetical if zombies took over the world. And he's like, oh, I definitely wouldn't want Jake Saligo or Max Michelani or Luke Nankervis. And he's like, Max goes to him, fictional characters. He's like, Spider-Man.
He got there. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's rough. Some
Sweet
rough
Josh.
shit.
They are. Look, I must say, Max and Josh, really nice guys. Very respectful. Are very open with their time, which was great. But definitely keep an eye out for that interview because it was good fun. Just a nice, quick little one after training. But yes, Gather Round coming up. It's a big weekend this weekend.
Well, it's already in. It's in. We need to talk that it's Friday. This is Friday. So
yes, Crows have either gone well or bad.
Yeah, so who knows? I guess in terms of Friday, Port Adelaide play tonight.
Yes. Or as we like to call them.
Shit.
Port Adelaide.
Shit on a stick. Anyway, yeah, cool. So it's Gather Round weekend. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Yes.
There's a bit going on. I guess I could share my story. I guess I'm allowed to because I
Share
put
it.
it on there. I quit my job yesterday. I was just telling Ray off air. I have no plan. It's the first time in my life that I have not been over organized with something. I think you know me well enough at this stage, Ray, where I like to be pretty organized. I don't really
Yeah.
like leaving things up to chance or fate. First time in my life, I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm just going
Yeah.
to see what happens. I'm going to roll with the punches. I don't know what's going to happen, but I guess technically in just over a month, I will be technically unemployed.
Well, unless you find another
Unless
job.
I find another job or something happens in that time, who knows? But I quit my job yesterday. It was liberating. It's equally exciting and terrifying all at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just never left anything up to chance before, and I'm just gonna. I gotta change
Yeah.
something
Do
up.
it.
So I thought, fuck it, let's just see what happens. So that's what happened. I don't know. I guess watch this space. I'm sure I'll keep you guys updated, but I have
Yeah.
no earthly idea
Definitely.
on what is coming up for me.
Well, you know what? As they always say, when a door opens, another door opens.
Mm-hmm.
As I elegantly put it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I've got to. I don't want to downplay your thing at all.
No, go for it. I'm done
Should
with.
we do a question?
Yeah,
Well, you just
probably
quit
did
your
it.
job, like
I just quit my job. There's no way to pivot from that. So just
no. So let's do a number question first, and then I've got another game for you. Random number generator. Let's press it. Number 214. 214 is... What's something you are craving right now? Josh was about to say that dick.
I was. Anyway, what are you craving?
Your bestie's been talking about this place that does cheesecakes inside Easter eggs.
Oh yeah.
And
I am.
I really want cheesecake now. I just always crave sweet stuff.
Yeah, I do and I don't. When I want sweet stuff, I really want sweet stuff. But when I cannot have sweets for ages, but then when I want it, it's all I eat for like 3 days. Do you know what I mean? Like I just want like blocks and blocks and blocks of chocolate or tubs of ice cream. But I've always been more of a savory man than a sweet man. But chocolate is pretty neat. But I'm not a cheesecake guy. To be honest, I don't really like cheesecake.
Love me some cheesecake.
Do you know what's in my fridge right now? Though, now that I think about it, is a block
Kit
of
Kat.
Kit Kat. It really is. It's right next to me in my fridge.
When we were at your place on Sunday, we were playing games. It was good fun.
It was.
So Jackbox, I think it was called, PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we got back, your bestie was like, "We need to get that. That was fun."
Yeah, it's a good time.
And she's not
with lots of people. Yeah,
she's not a games person, like a PlayStation game or anything like that, but she really enjoyed it. It was good fun. Someone in this, between the two of us, was taking answers a little bit too far. I don't want to say it was me, but it was probably me. And spell check got me a few times.
Well, the spelling was more funny than anything that you honestly said. Was just like, I was like, that's spelt wrong. I don't know. There was I already knew about myself, but what probably you two learned about me is that I like jokes when they're very literal. Like, why did Susie fall off the swings? Because she had no legs. Like, that shit to me is funny. I don't know why, but that shit makes me like cry, laugh. It's just so literal and so dumb that Mel, I said Mel, but we know her name's Mel, but my bestie, she was doing a lot of literal jokes, and they were destroying me. Really, they were so
Yeah.
funny that Ray could have wrote anything, and I would have just been like, "Nah, I'm sorry." I did notice that especially me and you, but sometimes when we're out of ideas, we simply just write "shit yourself" or "dick"
Yeah.
or something like that, and because while we are fully grown men, we're also 12.
Yes. Correct.
Mhm.
I agree. I'm just trying to get something up over here while I was killing time. So I've got a game to play with you.
Okay.
So I've trawled the internet and I found a top 5 list. So it's Australian pop culture, the most iconic parts of Australian pop culture. It's from some website, YOMM, and I'm going to ask you to guess what the top 5 Australian pieces of pop culture that have been made people proud to be Australian and that got transmitted to the world. I don't think you'll get these because this is actually quite.
I won't at all, because what is pop? I know what pop culture is, but what, like?
Don't worry, I'll do it. I'll find a different list while we're talking.
No, it's
'Cause that
okay,
one
because
was
like
like-
it's like, but like pop culture to me is just like, is that like a television show? Is that a song? Is that
It
a
was
person?
everything. It
Yeah,
was
and that's a
everything.
little bit
Because
like,
number 1 was Steve Irwin.
okay, yeah, which is fine, but then I would just keep going in the mindset of like, okay, people, instead of like Steve Irwin is probably number 1. But then is
Yeah.
pop culture like a Tim Tam? Because it's become, I don't know.
I'm gonna go.
Mhm. While you're doing that,
Yeah.
I will say, because I'm it's hard this week because it's gather round week and I want to be as gather round out as possible and lots of footy, but it is also with WrestleMania week, which is, you know,
It's
it's like our
big on the
favorite
calendar.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, so I've been doing, I've been in Wrestling Zone. Not that I ever am not, but like, um, some people won't care about this, but I care about this. Ray will care about this. I watched the Bray Wyatt documentary.
How did you watch that, by the way?
Twitter.
That was. Oh, okay.
Someone uploaded it. Girl, I'll send you the link. Goes for 2 hours, and
Yeah,
you will
okay.
cry like a child. I was
Okay.
sobbing. The last 20 minutes of that thing is the hardest thing, especially as much as we love professional wrestling. It is very, very hard to watch that. If you don't cry, you've probably got something wrong with you. I was
Oh,
like,
I've got plenty wrong with me,
I
but
was sobbing.
yeah,
It
okay.
was very tough. Very good though. Really, really good. Just, yeah, I watched that stuff and it was just, I knew that I was going to cry, but then when I was like in it, I'm like, oh, I'm not crying. This is good. Like, it was all happy, and then JoJo comes on. You're like, oh no,
Uh-oh.
oh no, here we go. And then it's all down. It's all down, and it's very, yeah. It's like, that kind of just, oh god, I can't believe it's real. But yeah, very good. So for anyone that likes the stuff that we love, even if you don't really like it, it's just a very fascinating story of a human being, which is kind of neat. Like, you don't really
Yeah,
need
right.
to know anything about this world to understand it and appreciate it. It's just a very fascinating story about like the story of Wyndham. It's very good.
I'm a little bit of a boomer when it comes to technology stuff like that, like trying to get that sort of thing. Because I've been trying for ages to find a way to watch the Cody Rhodes one. Because you know how much of a
Girl.
simp I am for Cody.
I can send you a link to that too.
Do it. Do it. Yes. It is WrestleMania. Let's talk a bit of wrestling. We don't usually do it. We try shy away from it a little bit.
Do we want to? Do we really want to open that can of worms?
Let's try talk wrestling without talking wrestling.
Oh, God,
We're not going to give predictions or anything like that. But on a scale of 1 to 10 compared to the last few years, how excited are you for WrestleMania?
I know it's like, you're saying that because you're in it, but this is probably the most excited I've ever been for a WrestleMania ever, because it does it really does feel like we're in a time that in 10 years or so, even if we're not watching wrestling anymore, people will look back on this time as like something that's really cool and special and like, wow, we're
Mm.
really in a like a really nice period of time. And it's hard to tell sometimes because I'm probably sure people that watched in the like wrestling's heyday of like the Attitude Era probably didn't really know what they were really experiencing until it was done. And I feel like when we're out of this in like a little bit of time, we're gonna be like, whoa, this
Yeah,
last however little bit of time has been genuinely great. And I feel like I don't know if we're reaching a peak of it right now. We're still in it, and I think we're gonna be in it for a while, but like there'll be certain events over the time that we just go, oh yeah, oh yeah, and like I don't know, there's a little bit less wrestling fans will understand this. There's a lot of shame about being a wrestling fan in yourself. You
yes,
feel a lot of like ickiness. Like there's many periods of time where I'm like, why am I actually interested in this? Because it's garbage. And then
mm.
also just like the judgment of people. But I am pretty open with the fact that I like wrestling. I mean, I have been for a long time, but like I'm not so embarrassed to be like, no, actually, if this come on my TV right now, I could pretty certainly say like, see, even if you don't like it, I can pretty confidently say that this is why I like it, and someone would understand because like
Yeah,
shit's cooking at the moment. So yeah, um, I'm pretty excited for WrestleMania. It's going to be a good time. It's like again, like there's only a few times a year where you don't have to twist everybody's arm to watch wrestling with you.
yeah,
This is one of those times. So like, I have a crew of people. We're going to sit down and we're going to watch 2 days of WrestleMania. It's going to be fantabulous.
yeah. I can't wait. I'm pretty pumped as well. A bit to your point though, um, I think when we look back on this period of wrestling, you know how you said the people that were in the Attitude Era and like, oh, that's the heyday. I
Mm.
think this period of wrestling will age better.
Oh yeah, and I think it is genuinely better. There's a lot of
Mm.
things with the Attitude Era that I wouldn't change it. It was what it was. It was a product of its time. It was a product of the
Oh,
90s. If you
yeah.
The 90s was a wild like just time. Um I wouldn't change it, but a lot of it was not great. If you go back and watch it now, it ages like, milk. Like it's not good.
No.
Um and a lot of the actual stories and the actual wrestling itself was not very good in that time.
Mm.
Um, I feel like we're in a time now where just story is very prevalent and wrestling is very good and characters are being built but one thing that I think the Attitude Era did really well is making sure everything on the show mattered, and
Mm.
that got lost in wrestling for so long. There's so much shit of just like, this is crap, this is just on TV to be on TV, blah, 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 blah. Won't get into the nitty gritty of it. But now every single thing that you watch within the
Mm.
world of wrestling matters. And that's like, I just like that anyone that likes wrestling can tell me this is their favorite part of wrestling right now. And it's really hard to argue why that wouldn't be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they could say
Yeah.
anything. There's something truly for everybody, but everything, no matter if it's your favorite thing or maybe your least favorite thing on the show, you're like, oh, that has a place and it matters and they're progressing things. So that's really neat.
Who do you think? Now, this might sound odd, but I'll explain myself. Who do you think outside of the main events? So exclude Cody, Roman, Rock, Seth. Who do you think's going to be the biggest winner from WrestleMania? Like, that doesn't mean they have to win the match. Like, we both know in professional wrestling, sometimes a loss is way better than a win.
Mm.
Who do you think's going to come out of this WrestleMania where people are like, oh shit, did you see such and such at WrestleMania? How good was that? Who's going to be the biggest? Who's going to get the biggest? It's not pop, but who's going to go over the most, win or loss?
Jade Cargill. She's the person that I'm just like, that this is her crowning moment of like, when we look back on the career and that in 20 years, like, that was the WrestleMania. That was her first time. This is everything. I feel like I take that question as like, what are you going to talk about the most outside of like the, just Cody and all that stuff and Rock and
Mm,
whatever. I feel like she is someone you can pluck from this mania as like, oh, this is her like coming out party.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say maybe like Bailey.
Mm.
I
Like
think
she's
her
already
match.
had that though.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have to have had it before. I
Mm.
think her story has been a little bit glossed over, but it's really good.
It
I
is
think
very
their
good.
match is going to be very good.
Mm.
There's going to be shenanigans, and we love shenanigans. But I think she'll get pretty over, and I think Dragon Lee, he'll do something in that tag team match that everyone will be like, "Oh shit!"
Well, there's a lot of stuff on Mania that's like a little bit like you can just kind of like glance over and be like, that'll be fine. But then when we're actually watching it, I'll be like, oh, this is everything. Everything has its place, and I'm very It's we're in a good spot. It's going to be 2 very good days of
Oh, the only
wrestling.
reason I didn't say Jade like you did, I can see why you said Jade. Same reason as you said before. There's an argument to say everyone could get over. There's only one person that I don't think could get over, and that's the AI generated character Austin Theory. But Grayson will go over. Massive. He'll do something in that ladder match that everyone will be talking about. But the only reason I didn't say Jade is because I think that whole match is just going to be set up for a hot tag at her at the end. She
Hell yeah,
comes
it's
out.
going to be.
Yeah.
100%. There's no scenario where she doesn't win that match. Like
Yeah,
her specifically
100%.
winning that match. But I don't know. There's something about that you need that in wrestling sometimes of just like, I know exactly how this is going to go, and I cannot wait to be sitting there, and I'm going to eat it up like a little kid. I'm just going to be like, fuck, yes. And
Yeah.
you will too, probably. You'll be like, this
Oh,
is
100%.
awesome.
Yeah.
Her entrance is
I
very
agree.
cool. Again, we're
don't
going down a
discount
rabbit
the
hole
fact
here of
that
wrestling,
she's-
but her entrance is cool as
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah, I agree. There's no world where she doesn't get over. But
There's no world
the
there
only-
she doesn't succeed, is there?
No. But like that's the only reason I didn't say that one. And I can understand why you did say that.
Mm. But yeah,
but
it's gonna be
I'm
fun.
very much looking forward to it. I did tell you on the weekend that I've got other things that have got in the way a little bit, so I've got to watch on catch up and
relate.
watch on catch up and not look at my phone for the morning and no spoilies. So
it's the one time where I'll just be up early, like I'll watch everything. I've got a lot to do on Saturday. It's just that weekend of really this whole week of like I'm just gonna be so wrestlinged out by 2 p.m. Monday when this is all said and done. I'm just
and then
gonna be
there's
like,
the Raw after
then there's
WrestleMania.
Raw. But like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I've just be like, once this kind of train stops for a minute, I'm just gonna be like, I need a breather where I'm not just like everything is just all encompassing wrestling at the moment. But
Do you know
it's a
what's-
fun week.
Do you know what's funny? When we were in Perth, your bestie had one of her work friends come over to just for, drinks or whatever. And they watched Chamber while we were there. And they were having a few drinks. And at the start, her friend Stephen was here and he was like, poo-pooing a little bit. But then he was like watching a bit more. And then the next day he messaged and was like, I had to look up stuff and like know about that. And he's like wanting to come over on Sunday to watch Mania. Like that's
It happens.
the
That's
quality.
how it happens. I've
That's
had
the quality.
friends like that before, and it's a great feeling when you can just be like, or when your friend who has no idea about wrestling, but no, you like wrestling, they ask you like, can you show me what it is? Because like, obviously, like, you love it. Like, why do you love it? Then you're like, do you have 12 hours free? Because I'm about to take you on a fucking journey. Just like all my shit.
All right, here's a question. Someone says that to you. Says, explain to me why you love wrestling.
Mm.
You got one match to show them. What match are you showing them?
One match.
And hang on, wait. I'll include like if it's a pay-per-view match, I'll include like the story build-up cutscene beforehand to like
you have
explain
to
to
always
them.
show them the video package beforehand because that's like everything to me. Probably for me, if I only had one match to show, it's a tie between two. It's very easy for me to say like a car crash match of like TLC 2. That's always going to be up there for me. Or like
I
Mick
watched that the
Foley,
other day.
or like Mankind and Undertaker, like Hell in a Cell. Like it's very easy for me to say that. But for what I love, I probably would show them. I'm like tossed up between two matches. Probably, if I only had one match and it's me, probably Sasha and Bailey from Brooklyn. That's my favorite match ever.
NXT?
Yeah, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. That's my favorite match ever. So I would, if I only had one match and it was like for me to show them, it would probably be that. Just because that match is my love letter to why I love this so much. It has everything I want about it. So probably that. Probably. But again, I don't know. It depends on the person, I guess, because some people I can like read them and be like, I know you wouldn't like a car crash thing because you'd be like, this is stupid.
Yeah. I actually watched that WrestleMania.
It's Mania
Monday.
17.
WrestleMania 17. TLC 2. Rock versus Austin in a no DQ match. It was one heck of a Mania.
Yeah, people often say it's the greatest Mania of all time.
Do you agree?
No, I don't. Greatest is a...
There's some bits of it where I'm like...
Wrestling is subjective. So, I don't know. I never ever get on someone for telling me why their favorite is their favorite because I'm like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not good. So, I don't know. Wrestling is like ice cream. There's many flavors, but I like a lot.
Yeah. If I was to choose a match to show someone, my favorite match of the last year was Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller at NXT TakeOver last year. Was it TakeOver before Mania?
They don't do takeovers anymore. Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver, that's the one.
Yeah.
You said TakeOver and I got sidetracked. But when they Gargano come back for Shawn Michaels, that was one heck of a match in the whole, like, I just love a cocky douchebag heel. I'll eat that up love that. I think if, again, you could pick and choose, but the Cody bruised match, Hell in a Cell.
It was 2022?
Yeah. And TLC 2 is an amazing match.
Yeah, it's just an absolute... It's just chaos. It's chaos. Yeah. It's the greatest tables, ladders, and chairs match. It's very... Yeah, it's chaotic. There's a lot of matches that I have in that kind of like... that collection of stuff of like someone that's never watched wrestling. I'm like, here you go, because I feel like you do got to show. It's very hard just to say. I know we're talking hypothetically, but in my perfect world, it's very hard to show someone just one match because I would show them. Here's a bunch of different stuff, and like whatever they gravitate towards, because I would have Sasha and Bailey, and I would have the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, Shawn and Undertaker at
WrestleMania I forget about that.
WrestleMania 25.
That was outstanding.
It's an absolute spectacle. So I'd have that in there, and then I'd have Mick Foley or Cactus Jack and Triple H Street Fight from Royal Rumble 2000, because I think it's the greatest street fight ever. I would have the original, well, not the second Hell in a Cell, Mankind Undertaker. I'd have TLC 2 in there. I'd have, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on of all the matches that I would have in these things. So I don't know. I know everyone says this that love wrestling as much as we do, but like I wrestling, not to be too deep and weird, but wrestling was my first love. It will always be my first love. I'll never love anything as much as I love professional wrestling in a weird way. I don't know. I love footy and I love basketball and stuff like that, but it's not the same to me as professional wrestling. It's different. I think I've always liked it. I loved it a little bit more because not everyone does love it. And it's made me a little bit different in that way. It's like, oh, I'm that kid that likes wrestling and there's not a lot of me in the village. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's made me love it a little bit more because I've had to fight for it all my life.
Yeah, you've always feel like you've got to justify it.
Yeah, and it's hard even now, as much as I'm open and love it and will happily, sing its praises, there's still a part of me that defends it a lot. And I don't know why.
Mm.
Like, even talking about it on this show, I'm like, so like, oh, we shouldn't talk about wrestling. But also, like, that's just the part of me that I'm like, why am I defending it? We both love it. It's a part of us. It will probably
Mm.
always be a part of me. So I don't know why I still get on the defense about it. I'm like, oh, people don't want to listen to that. But I don't know. I always love. I've always, yeah. It was my first love of my life, I guess you could say. Like, there's,
Yeah.
we've both been pretty open about the fact that we have our own issues with our own brains and we've struggled with it at different times of our lives. But like, when I'm truly feeling the loneliest and the downest, like, I know that I can put on wrestling and just, at least for a few hours, just be kind of like lost in that world and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's not a thinking thing. You don't have to sit there and think. I think I'm a little bit different of a fan to a lot of people. I don't read any of the dirt sheets. I don't try to get spoilers. I don't go too deep on, what's going to happen where. I just turn it on and I'm in it and I see where it goes. Yeah, I have my theories on who's going to win and can tell you why, but I'm not going to get upset if it doesn't happen. I will cry like a little bitch if Cody doesn't finish the story this weekend, but that's a completely different thing.
That's
And I think I could be crying like a little bitch. But yeah, I agree. There's something very constant about wrestling. Every week, it's going to be on. And I moved around a lot as a kid. I did a lot of different things, but it was always very constant.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just eat it up every time I can. All right, let's get on to this game because I've got the top 10 sitcoms of all time.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
So I've got the top 10 list here. Let's see how many you can get from the top 10 list. I'll give you 3 strikes and you're out.
Okay. The Office. The US Office. If that's not in there, then I'm not actually participating in this game.
The Office is number 10.
Okay. Friends?
Friends, number 6.
Okay. I don't necessarily know it or really experience it, but Seinfeld would probably be in there.
Hang on, this article's laid out very funny.
It would have
Seinfeld
to be in there.
did not make the list.
Now, hold on.
This is by IMDb.
Seinfeld is like renowned, like worldly renowned as like the greatest sitcom ever, which again, I don't necessarily agree with, but that's not what this is about. I don't understand how Seinfeld changed what, especially American sitcoms, became.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm shocked it's not in there as well. But this is by IMDb, and it's like the highest rated sitcoms.
Wow. I don't understand how Seinfeld. Modern Family would probably be in there.
Modern Family is not in there. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, number 9. Number 9. Sorry.
I was going to say.
It's got a weird title page, Modern Family. I didn't see it.
I would put it in there, but I don't necessarily think it would be in there. But I would put Parks and Rec in there, but I don't think it'll be in that list. If fucking Seinfeld's not in that list, what the fuck are we even doing? I have no other guesses because Seinfeld isn't in that list.
I'll give you a couple of clues. There's a couple of animated sitcoms in there.
Oh, The Simpsons.
Number 1.
Yeah, The Simpsons. Yeah, that probably means Family Guy's in there too. Ugh.
Yep.
Ugh.
Family Guy, number 8.
You're going to put Family Guy in that list, but you're not going to put Seinfeld.
Hey, I didn't make the list.
I'm just reading the
list.
I think I've watched probably 4 Seinfeld episodes my whole life, but I know the cultural significance that show had to television in general. Ooh, that makes me feel gross. Man, I don't really know what else would be in there, to be completely honest. I kind of listed off everything that I think would be in there.
I'll give you some. There's a couple that I'm surprised they're in here at 4 and 5. Have cult followings. Were very of their time. I've never been a huge fan of them. One of them is British, Ricky Gervais, if that gives you any help. It's not The Office.
I don't know any other Ricky Gervais shows, so
Extras.
never heard of it.
And then there's one that changed cast because of troubled ex-star who was the full...
2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Okay. So
and then there's another... Number 2 is probably the best sitcom of the last... Well, it only just finished. But 12 seasons. And it's...
Oh, The Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
Ugh.
Big Bang Theory number 2.
I'd probably put
And then
that. I don't really like that, but I would put that in there. But I wouldn't put some of these in there.
The other two, I don't think you're going to get. Arrested Development, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, okay. I've seen both of those. Again, probably not my favorite things in the world, but I understand why they're in there. But man, some of that shit is questionable.
I agree.
I don't know, because I think the greatest sitcom of all time is The Office. Fight within a wall, I don't care. The US Office I'm talking about. I just think it is the greatest sitcom ever. Friends is not age great, in my opinion. I loved it a lot when I was younger, but I don't really love it that much now. But I understand its significance. Like, for anything to go 10 seasons in that time was not really heard of that often in that time. And to kind of like mainstay. I mean, Seinfeld, I said what I said about Seinfeld. The Simpsons, I agree with. The Simpsons may even be, I mean, I honestly can't tell you a new episode of The Simpsons I've watched in for like 15 years.
They're all on Disney, and I've been watching a few. They're fine.
Yeah,
they're good.
The Simpsons is, I mean, it is, I mean, it's probably the most famous family in the world when you actually break it down, is The Simpsons. But, yeah, that's an interesting list.
Yeah. Let's do top 10 selling artist. So music artist. Highest.
Oh boy.
Of all time.
So this is artists, not bands, right?
Well, it's the same thing.
No, it's not. Two different things.
Let me get down to the top 10 because this is the top 50.
Oh God.
No, there's bands in there as well.
So
this is music acts.
Okay, that's different. I would say Michael Jackson probably be in there.
Michael Jackson is number 6.
I would say Beyonce. Maybe. Musical acts, maybe not.
Beyonce is not in the top 10.
Oh.
You're gonna have to think a bit more old school.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where I probably will lose this. Older. I genuinely have no idea, because now, if it was just artists and not both, I'd be a little bit more inclined to think about not bands.
Not all of these are bands, by the way.
I understand that, but that's what makes it hard, is that it's both.
Yeah.
I don't think Taylor Swift would be in there, but she honestly
She's
may be.
21.
Yeah. Michael Jackson was 6. Ugh, this is harder. This is way harder. And I'm just going to be throwing out names, and I just don't think they're going to be right. Is Britney in there?
No. Britney was 50.
I have no idea.
Number 1, think a group of guys that.
Beatles.
Yep. There you go. That's number 1. Number 2, you're not going to get. I would have guessed him straight away. Garth Brooks, country music icon.
Don't know who that is. Fantastic.
Number 3, he's from Memphis, Tennessee. He caused a stir with his sexual hip thrusting dance movement and nearly broke the world with his over-sexualized dancing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Elvis Presley.
Oh, I guess so.
Well, that was the whole thing about Elvis, is that they tried to ban him because he was gyrating. And that was not sane. Number 4 is the Eagles. Hotel California.
California? Yeah, I was going to say.
Number 5's Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
6 was Jacko. You got that. 7's the Piano Man.
Oh, Elton John.
Well, no, he's number 8.
Oh.
Elton John's the Rocket Man.
Oh, who the fuck is it? Oh, Billy, what's his face? No?
You got it.
Billy Idol?
You're almost... Nah. You were almost there.
Don't know.
Billy Joel.
Whatever.
Sing us a song, Piano Man. Number 9, AC/DC.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
And number 10, Pink Floyd. I didn't know much about those last ones to give you an absolute...
Again, it's very broad.
Let's see if this one's artist.
It's very broad.
Okay, this one's best-selling from 2023. This one's... I'm going to take out the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, but the rest are just artists.
And what is this based on?
Sales.
Of when?
Like up to 2023.
So of all time?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a little bit different to... So the other one was how many records they've sold. This is how much money they've made from sold records.
It's the highest grossing.
Yeah, correct.
So Michael Jackson, I guess, would be in there as well, just to like
Michael
scratch
Jackson's
that.
number 4.
So we're taking out like them, her. But then I guess technically this would be different because highest grossing doesn't necessarily mean best selling of all time, does it? It just means they've made the most money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to answer this. These are too hard, Ray, for me because it's like something I got to sit down and think about.
Well, okay, let's start at 10. Rose to fame really young.
That could be literally the fucking 70% of...
From Canada, eh?
Justin Bieber.
Correct.
Yes. Oh, really? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Rewind, hold up for a minute. Justin Bieber has some bangers, and I didn't realize this until much later in life.
No, I quite enjoy Justin Bieber.
Oh my god, some of Justin's songs, you're like, holy shit. His song is
And he's an absolute throbber. He's... I think he's an icon. I like him.
Okay. Good for you.
Number 9 was Led Zeppelin. I'm not going to do that one. Number 8. I would have to say this artist has been relevant for, I want to say, 4 consecutive decades, at least.
4 consecutive decades. So that's the 2020s, the 10s, the 00s.
Maybe not
and the
now,
90s.
but so let's go 2010s, 2000s, 90s, and 80s.
No earthly idea, because again, there could be a lot of people. Madonna.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
7 is the Rocket Man.
Elton John.
Yeah. Number 6. One of 2 rappers on the list.
Oh, good old rappers. Rappers. Oh, Snoop Dogg?
No. Think early 2000s, people wanted to be this guy.
It's a rapper. In the early 2000s.
Especially people like me and you.
Excuse me. I was going to say 50 Cent, but we don't want to be 50 Cent. I don't know. I don't really know rap, to be completely fair.
Eminem.
Oh, no, you put those words back in your mouth. If there is... Oh, I can't stand...
I didn't mean you and me. I didn't mean you and me as in like we wanted to be. I meant white.
Oh, just because we're white, we wanted to be Eminem?
I said people like us.
So all white people.
Not all white people. Stop being racist.
Well-
Number 5 is from the Barbados. She doesn't like rain.
It's like rain. Oh,
She has a
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you
I
can
got
stand
it.
under
Yeah,
her
I
umbrella.
got it.
Ella.
It got there. I got there.
Have you ever thought umbrellas, right, is an invention that was invented and then no one's been able to improve on since?
What's wrong with them?
Exactly. That's what I mean. They were so well invented that no one's been able to or had to put another, like, remake them or redesign them
I
or
guess
add
so.
stuff to them.
Umbrellas are one of those things that I'm like, oh, I should have an umbrella, and then I never have one on me.
I don't think I do own an umbrella. It's in my golf bag.
I think there's one sitting in the back of my car. I think.
Yeah, okay.
But like I always am like I should have my umbrella, and then I'm like I don't have it, or I'm like I should buy one, and then I just don't buy one. But like a very handy thing to have. But also it's extra things that you got to carry around. I ain't carrying that shit around.
Yeah, I've got a golf umbrella in my golf bag. But I got it at a golf day. Number 4 and number 3 were on the previous list, Michael Jackson and Elvis, respectively. And then number 2, last one to guess, another rapper, but not in your hardcore rap sense. Like, you wouldn't put him in the same category as an Eminem or 50 Cent or Dr. Dre. This one's more modern rap.
Modern rap. Oh, that's even...
Also from Canada.
Drake.
Drake, yes. Yes. Look
He
at
has
us
that
go.
song. That's that song.
Hot Long Bling.
I was going to say Passion Fruit.
Okay, believe you. I'm
Do
not
you
a
know
big
Passion.
Drake
I'm not a
fan.
rap. I'm not a rap guy. I'm not a very big Drake guy either. I know I love music and I love all types of music. I love all types of music. But like when people are like, "Oh, you like music, so you must know all this." I'm like, "No, I know the music that I know." And I know shit about the music that I know. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't care for it. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, but I'll listen. I listen to all kinds of music. Oh my god, I love that. Sometimes I'm in the mood just to listen to one kind of music. Sometimes I'm in the mood to listen. It's great. It's wonderful. Music is great. It's the greatest thing ever. Wow, what a time.
Correct.
It's a good time. It's a fucking good time. I was gonna say something then. I can't remember. I had something in my brain to say, and it just left me like crazy, and I don't know why. Oh, when you were here on the weekend, I was like racking my brain when you had said to me like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, we might come up to see you," and I was like, "Oh, cool. All right." So I was like, "What are we gonna do? What is there to do around this town?" Because I don't really do much but sit in my house and watch wrestling and footy and play PlayStation, go to work. Well, not for much longer. But that's really all I do. So I was like, what are we going to do? Like, there's got to be something to do around here. So I'm like, where can we go to eat? Like, where can we... So we went out to eat and it was fine and whatever. There was obviously lots of visitors in this area. The area that I live in has a lot of tourists. Like, I didn't know shit. I was like, who are these people around me? Because I was like, I don't know anyone. But then I was like, what else can we really do? It was Easter Sunday in an area that doesn't really have a lot that you can. It's not like we can just go bowling or go to the movie. We could have went to the movies. To be fair, we have a cinema, but I was like, oh, what are we gonna do? So I'm like, I know what we can do. Let's not go to Kmart. Let's go to K Hub because that's what we have here. It's like Kmart but shitty,
Country
basically.
Kmart.
Basically,
Yeah,
so we
it
went
was
in
a good
there and
time.
we went and had a little look around in there, and then we went to Woolies.
We went
That
looking
was
for Mum
thrilling.
and Nicole,
She
but
was
Mum and
not on
Nicole
the
was not there.
she was not on the shop floor. I did say because I went to Mum's for tea on Easter Sunday night. We had a roast lamb in we had a lamb in the Weber and a roast pork. It was delicious.
Mm.
But I was in Woolies today, and I was with my blonde friend. And she was like, "Oh, what time did you come in?" I don't know. I was like, I don't know, like 2 p.m. or something like that. She goes, "Oh, I don't know where I would have been. I would have been around somewhere." I was like, "Well, my friends were not impressed that you weren't around."
Correct.
Yeah, we went to Woolies, and then we just played Jackbox at my house basically, and watched a little bit of footy.
Yeah.
It was nice to see friends where I didn't have to travel for once.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, no, we had fully planned to come up at some point. It was just
When?
Yeah, exactly. So why not? Well, we were doing not much for Easter, so it was good. All right, let me try hit this. I haven't done it for a week. Let's see if I can get it on the way out. A2Wide Podcast on all your social medias. Like us, follow us, share us with your friends, comment, whatever you want to do. Apple Podcasts and Spotify to listen. Tell your friends about us. Hit like, hit follow. Give us a 5-star rating and a review. It would help dearly. Go follow Josh at JoshRobinson00 on all of his socials for all of his YouTube stuff. Watch our YouTube stuff and all of his content coming into WrestleMania season. Just do it. It wasn't
Pretty
my
much.
best.
It was okay. Let's just say you finished your story today, didn't you?
Yeah.
You
well,
did.
I hope this weekend's of finishing stories.
We'll have. I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit about WrestleMania next week because
Yes.
I mean, it would just be natural for us to talk about WrestleMania because that's pretty much what we're going to do for the entire weekend, other than football, which is our only break from wrestling over the whole weekend. I guess you have children and shit, but I don't got to worry about that.
Nah, yeah, we do.
But all I will say, I have my 13-year-old brother with me for the entire weekend, so I may be completely over that by Monday afternoon because, I mean, kids are one thing, but a hormonal teenager that wants to backchat absolutely everything I say, pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's a fun age. We've both been 13, and it's a crazy time because he is in the zone of like, I'm right about everything, and you're not. And I'm like, I will throw you through a window. Cool.
All right, well, have fun with that, and we'll talk soon. See you, friends.
Okay, guten Tagen. Bye-bye.